Heretic is an extremely effective horror film, and on top of that, really made me want some blueberry pie, or at least some blueberry cereal. Maybe there's some over at my grandma's place. In the film, two LDS missionaries are going door to door, getting hassled on the streets, and right away you know they're from the Church of Jesus Christ because they're quick to reference both South Park and the Book of Mormon musical, though in the first scene references porno. I wondered if they also saw Orgasmo. Unfortunately, they do knock on the wrong door, where Hugh Grant's Mr. Reed invites them in, wants to talk about their religion and other religions until it grows more sinister and could possibly be a deadly cat and mouse game. It could be worse, neither one of them gets turned into a human centipede. There's a lot of things I really love about this. I almost don't know where to start. I love that the characters aren't dumb. Yeah, it's a horror film, so they make mistakes, but they're mistakes you could see anyone doing in the real world, because Mr. Reed is that damn charming. He takes that Hugh Grant likability and turns it into a weapon. The conversations could be funny, then becoming a bit off, then back to him seeming somewhat friendly. Hell, even watching it, I was questioning him myself, like, well, maybe he's not a killer. Maybe he's just some professor who was laid off and is starting his own extreme haunted house. Maybe he's just making a non-believer version of an Estes Perkle film. It was fascinating hearing him talk. The dialogue is great. It's a tense film and a half, but also a great history lesson on religion, where he works in comparisons to Monopoly, The Phantom Menace, and even bringing my favorite Hollies song into it. And those references aren't random, they make sense in context of what he's saying, so it's a real test of faith with the two girls, who start out seeming naive at first glance, but no one here is a stereotype. They can think on their feet and they do a good job of trying to say the right things. Even when Topher Grace comes into it, he still plays it pretty straight, and it's a role that in another movie would seem like filler or wear out its welcome, but here, he serves his purpose and he's out. The camera work, suspense, and acting are flawless. And to go back to the dialogue again, it's so good that I could have watched a whole movie of just these three talking like they were in the first half. The only thing keeping it from being an A is that there is a very convenient thing that happens near the end. It's telegraphed for sure, but it's a really cliched movie thing to happen and a bit on the nose. Other than that, it's an A-, and I'd love to see Hugh Grant get some love come award season. Now on to a movie that probably has different thoughts about religion. It's the best Christmas pageant ever. From director Dallas Jenkins, Judy Greer volunteers to direct the annual church Christmas pageant, but has her work cut out for her when the no-good Herdman kids hear that the church has some snacks, so now they all want to star in the play, much to the outrage of the stuck-up members of the church. The Herdmans are like the anti-Buttercream gang. They would personally break into old widow Jenkins' house and push her down themselves. They're the Buttercream gang if Pete actually did take over after becoming a hooligan. The adults don't know if the kids are gonna start smoking cigars during the play, if they're gonna steal the baby Jesus, or if they're gonna improvise King Herod getting his ass beat. Again, it could be worse. What if the director of the play was replaced by Mr. Reed? I'm not gonna lie, this is a pretty damn funny movie. From the ads, you may think it looks like a Christmas streaming movie, but it's a step above that. I watch those TV Christmas movies every year, and this one has a bit more going for it that makes it more theatrical. The acting from the kids is good, the way they try to understand the nativity and the questions they have about it, and the improving they do in rehearsal, they've all got good comedic timing. And Judy Greer and Pete Holmes as the parents are very good together and can get a laugh just from their reactions alone. It's not a perfect film, it's a lighthearted Christmas movie, so there's some antagonists that are a little one-note. There's corniness here and there, but nothing that sinks the movie. It's all set in the 80s, but early on I kept thinking it felt more 60s to early 70s, then go figure 1972 is when the book came out. It's all narrated from the daughter Beth, and her acting is good, but it's certainly Judy Greer's movie. The character they have narrating it doesn't do a ton story-wise and is overshadowed by a lot of the stronger characters, but at the end of the day, I laughed a lot at this. It's a solid B. It's genuinely sweet at times, and one that families will have a good time watching. And if you watch The Cinema Snob, you may remember Last Ounce of Courage, which had the worst Christmas pageant ever. At least this didn't happen here.
I love you. Merry Christmas.